y'all's day has been going well and was good on this Monday today. My day's been busy, but I mean it's been good, but it's been a long day. I'm not gonna lie. And all that with work this morning, typical, and then coming home and relaxed and just kind of recover from the work day, but also after that I crashed for an hour like usual, because y'all kind of with me is I usually take a nap for a dang hour um when I get back from work, because y'all I get exhausted even though I only work 4 hours. But y'all, the thing is, you think 4 hours is gonna last you like this? No. No. 4 hours, y'all, feels like freaking eternity. I will say that real quick. But I'm so glad to now officially be off for a day, and then I'm back in swing on Wednesday. So anyway, enough of me for a second. If anyone's new here, welcome. And if you are a returning subscriber or a moderator, welcome back. Please feel free to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell down below and set that to all notifications so you get all alerts and updates from when I post stuff on here that you might not want to miss coming up, because you never know when something new comes out or something exciting comes out too. So it's always good to be on the lookout. And so, yeah. Hey there, Dennis. Welcome back. How are you doing? Hopefully, you're doing well. And hopefully, everyone else is doing good that's just starting to make their way in here. And I'm going to go ahead and say this while we're at the start of the live. Um, Please be sure to be respectful with all means, because, I don't want to have to play victim tonight with anyone. I'll just say it while it's early and all that, even though it's not starting, but I'd rather be safe than not and address it ASAP. Because, I really don't want to have to deal with any hate with anyone, whether if it's something with me or anyone else in the chat. So just please be sure you are respectful. And if you are new here, to kind of let you know, a couple of things about the live is, first of all, be respectful. Number two, be sure when you ask questions, don't ask anything that's inappropriate. Just don't. Because, you don't know what someone on here has went through, and sometimes we can ask something and don't realize that it might make someone on here feel uncomfortable, or just, so, and plus, y'all's safety and my safety come first before anything else on here, because I care about y'all like crazy. And, I want to look out for y'all and all that. But let me see who else has just started coming here. I did see a couple letters pop in here. As I was saying all that, let me. Hey there. What do I see? Hang on. How are you doing? Dennis doing good. Are you doing okay? How was your fourth? Yeah, I'm doing alright. Just relaxing. And my 4th of July was pretty good. And all that. Who else do I have in here? High Price, that's a cool name. I can see you're new here, so welcome. Max, I see you're new too, I think. So, welcome. Mag, I see you're new. Welcome. Max. Okay, good. How are you? To answer, I'm doing good. To answer your question there. And so, thanks. I very appreciate it. I'll tell you, I don't know what number. It's hard to keep track how many people that have complimented me on here about them. Which I love these glasses because they're really cute, and the best part is it's pink on the bottom and black on the top, and then on the sides it's like a rose gold. And something I like about these is the sides are not so wide and bulky, but they're like that perfect skinny length, so it doesn't feel like it almost feels like I'm wearing nothing, honestly. And pink is my favorite color, fun fact, everybody. Um, about me. And if I had a second favorite, it's also black as well. Yeah. And these are like my favorite pairs of glasses I've owned so far. Like out of all glasses I've previously have had from all my years. These are like my ultimate favorites. And so, who else just came in here? Over here. Dennis, to answer your question, 4th of July, all I did was I watched fireworks with a lot of my neighbors, and I got to see a couple friends there as well that came out as well, and it was really fun. I took a bunch, y'all. When I mean I took a lot. I mean, that's any of us, though. And so, yeah, I took a lot of firework pick action, like anyone would. And it was pretty cool getting to watch the fireworks go off. It was pretty cool. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. But I was definitely worn out the next day, so I literally took church off. Just literally, because I mean, we all know how that goes. Day after, it's like we get exhausted just from all the fun and all that. And so, um, yeah. Well, it's yeah. Yes, by the pool. It was pretty cool. Like, and oh, and also I even went swimming too, and oh, y'all, the water felt so good. Like, and y'all, for reference, this is now my second time I've went swimming this year. Kind of feels crazy in my head to say that, but but the water felt amazing and all that. Like, mm, it's like I'll tell you this, it's not like drenching cold, but it's almost like if you're getting in the bathtub. That's kind of how it feels like, where it's that good warm temperature where if you're like it's basically as if you're sitting in the bathtub, but oh, it's incredible. But it felt awesome. Just swimming and just oh, was so relaxing. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, how much? Um, to answer your question there, Tamara, God, I've got a lot. I'll tell you that. Like, I'm at like 1.20 or 30 something, I think, of y'all, which is nuts to think about. Like, I've gotten a lot of you guys, which is incredible. So, a big shout out to those of you who've subscribed, because y'all do a lot more than just what you do and all that. But, um, yeah, it's pretty crazy. And so, um, yeah, it's crazy and all that. But we're just hanging out, so feel free to ask questions down below. And a good bit of y'all are doing pretty good, so thank you to those of you that are doing well not starting things. I appreciate it, because right now, with it being just me currently, I don't even though we're in the very beginning and all that, I just don't want to be someone who just starts all of it next. And I mean, who wants to even be in the middle of crap like that? Not me. And so, um, yeah, pretty wild. But yeah, I'm just hanging out, relaxing. But yeah. But I mean, I am so glad that I'm done with work for the day, because it was exhausting. I'm not gonna lie. It was pretty exhausting. Like, I was literally working a 4-hour shift on foot. Literally, I was literally on foot for all 4 hours. It was insane. But also, I will say this for a lot of you guys in here. This is probably my first 4-hour shift that I was so busy doing a lot that I didn't even take a dang second to even um get my water bottle a couple of times, because usually I do pretty good about hydrating every now and then. But that's because a lot of the times I'm like back and forth, because for where I work, there's um the main building, and then we also have a warehouse building like next to it, with um where basically a lot of like incoming donations go and shipments and all that. And for those of you that don't know, I work for a thrift store in my area. I've been working for about a month, and yeah, and the thing is, like, there's points where I'm like back and forth from the warehouse to the store building, and then kind of either repeats or I stick in the store. And I'm surprised, y'all, that today I actually stayed in the store for most, which is crazy. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of felt nice, but at the same time, it was like, you know, yeah, yes, I've got a job now. I work, at a thrift store in the area, and I do all kinds of stuff from, I can probably say that I do a lot of retail based things. So a lot of things I do are things from um, racks to um, linens to making, and also just kind of making sure that donations are looking good. Occasionally I price items, so occasionally I actually tag items And actually, I did that like in the beginning weeks, which was like the coolest thing ever, honestly. But I do all kinds of stuff though, y'all. Um, Mostly everything but cashier right now, which actually I'm kind of glad that I'm not up front yet, cause oof, yeah, I've only been working there a month, and and so um, but yeah, it's pretty crazy. Um, but yeah, I do all kinds of stuff though. And then I also do linen, so that's anywhere from bed sheets, throw on blankets like this, for example, and this, for example, pillow sheets, pillowcases, excuse me, I'm saying that backwards, to bed sheets, pillowcases, bed sets, towels, and all kinds of things within that window. And y'all, that's if I had to pick my least favorite though, that's like my least favorite right now because I get so worn out. And y'all get this. I'm 5'3", and sometimes there's some moments where I'm folding either a sheet or a blanket or something that's twice as long as me. Like that's twice as taller as me, and that's literally a war zone right there. And I was actually thankful that I hadn't had to do that today. I was actually thankful because it actually got me a break, actually. And so, um, yeah, hang on, let me look at my chat and see what, because editors have been talking in here too. Um, Hang on. Okay, right here. Dixon, I see you're new here. Welcome. Millionaire, I see you're new here too. The stream is saying AI. Huh? It's not saying that on my end. Dennis, let me look at your question here. What is your most favorite thing you like to do at your job? How long has you worked there? Okay, to split that down real quick. Um, my most favorite thing so far is tagging tagging items. So mainly a lot of this is from like clothing, mainly, but also sometimes another thing I've liked doing is kind of just seeing all of like the incoming donations that people bring in here, such as clothes and all that will go out to the store and all that, because it's really cool when you get to see it. Because in my head, that's kind of like one of my favorite parts so far is seeing all of like the incoming stuff that's like right before it goes out. You know because it's kind of in my head the best description of saying it, it's kind of like a VIP experience right there, meaning you're the only one who gets to see this before anyone else does. And so you kind of get a sense what might go out there. And it's like the coolest thing ever. But also, what else would I say is a favorite thing I like doing? But yeah, like just hanging up um clothes and just seeing how cute certain things are. And we don't have just clothes, we also have belts. So like men's, women's belts, kids stuff, baby clothes, men's stuff like ties, pants, dress wear, you name it. Of course, we have shoes. We also have hats like ball caps, regular cowboy hats, and all that. Um, and also women's shoes, kind of like anything. And we also do have some furniture, not all furniture, but we do have like some neat pieces, and also de- house decor, kids books, adult books, and then of course movies and TV shows, all kinds of stuff. Just really, it's also kind of neat just seeing all this stuff too and being like, oh, that's cool, you know. And also and we also have purses as well, some jewelry, but yeah, we have a kind of almost have everything. I will say that. And um yeah, it's pretty crazy. And so um yeah, and then let me look at this other half I saw in your question. Um I was actually getting to that. I was just kind of splitting it in half so it's easier for me to remember all of it. And then here on your question, what I was to say? Oh, and then up here, that you also asked, just out of curiosity, how's AJ doing? He's doing good. Um, I mean, he's doing well. He and I talked to a couple times, and he's off work today, which is awesome. So he's been off work today, and so he and I got to call and catch up and all that. Because at this point, he and I can only really, I mean, we can text too, but like mainly like calling like face to face and seeing how he's doing himself and even me as well is really now on his off days, which can vary a lot. Like, I know as of right now, his next off day, from what I saw, is I believe Saturday next. I need to look and see because I have it written down to help me out. I think it's Saturday next. Days off. I think. I think it's Saturday that he's next off. Um, and so yeah, but that went well and all that. But we do text too, in which we also do text even if we're working. Which the best part where my boyfriend works is he gets um breaks almost every day, which is like he's lucky that he gets breaks a lot more than I do. I mean I kind of get breaks too, but it's not really like frequent for me at least right now. But I think where I work though, they almost seem pretty chill with it so far. But I've just been on foot a bunch lately and all that. Um, and so, because the last time I remember getting a break was like my first and second week. I know. But then after that, it was like, and then since then, it's been like me on foot for all hours. Just bonkers. And yeah, it's crazy. And so, but yeah, he's doing good. What else do I know about him to update you on? Um, he works tomorrow from I think it's 2:30 to 11 tomorrow, which I need to look and see. But I think he works 2:30 to 11 tomorrow. And if you're wondering his hours, he works evenings to nights, but also occasionally afternoons going into night shift, which y'all, it's crazy. Like his schedule is bizarre. Like one day he could be working, let's say for example 2:30 to 11, and then another day he could be working, let's say 4 to 11, and then another day he could be working 3 to 11 or 3:30 to 11, but really, it varies a lot with him, but he's literally evenings going into night shift, but occasionally afternoons going into night shift, like late, like early afternoon going into night shift. Like it's bizarre. Like in if you're wondering by hours, his vary from like 4 to 7.5 hours at least. Just crazy. Like this man works at least 4 to 7 or even 7.5 hours. Mostly. But it just depends on the day though. Unlike me where I work four. Like I work 4 hours right now, which is 4 hours for me is already a lot, and y'all think people would think it seems short, but mm-mm. Try working a 4 hour shift yourself, and you'll know why I say that. Because 4 hours feels like more. Like it feels like you've been there all day. Honestly. Like, for me, 4 hours feels like maybe around maybe his exact hours and all that, because it's crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Can't let get up for a second. But yeah, it's insane. And so, um, yeah, it's pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie, one bit. And yep, I was right. Yeah, he works tomorrow 2:30 to 11. And so, who else have I not read yet? In terms of your comment, something in the chat. Hey there, Stoned. That's a cool name. I see you're new here. And to answer your question, ooh, that's a good question that you asked. I probably would say Overcomer, which is so good. Um, can you read the last sentence I put in the chat? Thank you. Thank you. Also, what days do you work as well? I forgot to ask you. I work, so as of right now, I work Mondays and Wednesdays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So I work 4 hours altogether. But if we're calculating it fully, not just the days separately, it's like at least 10 to 12 hours total. Um, just crazy. But it's a good starting point, though, honestly. I'm not, and actually, I kind of like that I'm going that medium because for someone who's a rookie right now in the work field, it's good to start decentable and then slowly work your way up. Because the thing is, you don't want to be someone and just go, okay, shoot for this. Because, first of all, what the heck are you thinking? Just by, because in my head, it's like if you think about it, if you go, oh, you know what? Screw this, we're gonna shoot it to the highest possible chance, and imagine what would happen there. You could end up getting something that does not work around your schedule. Or if you're like me and you've got a learning disability and it takes you time to pick up things right away, it's good to, especially with schedules too, it's the same way. It's like, start me off at a good medium and not rush me right away. Because if you just go, okay, here's this on top of that, that is gonna screw my mind. Like, it's gonna make my brain get very overstimulated quick. And we don't want that happening. And like I said, right now my 9 to 1 is already insane. So fun fact, so kind of what it looks like here is y'all. So technically for me, I work like opening, like the start of opening hours, all the way up to the middle of the afternoon. So literally, I'm morning the afternoon to early afternoon hours, and then my boyfriend is evenings going into night shift, but afternoon, evening going at a night shift. So it's kind of crazy how we both work within like a similar window and all that. It's crazy. And so, yeah, it's busy. I'm not gonna lie. But, excuse me. But yeah. And so, um, do you work at. No, to answer your question there, Stoned. No, I work at a thrift store in my area, and it's not that far from where I live. What's my Okay, to answer your next question, Stoned, I will say this, but for anyone that will start hating, don't you start hating, because there's people that will start putting hate toward this NFL team. Not everyone does, but some, don't care. But for your question though, my favorite team is the Cowboys, which anyone in my comment section, do not come for me. You know, I don't, I don't just, I'm not anyone else trying to put the hate toward them. I don't even look at them as, even though people will look at them as, oh, they're the one team that's not had a touchdown since like the 70s, like a long time ago, like 70s timeline. I don't care about how long it's been. I, it's just a team, It's not gonna hurt anything. And plus, it takes a lot just to get to that point, because a lot of practice and a lot of patience comes into that. Like, imagine how that would go. But all that matters is you try your best to get somewhere. Because, I would rather have a team that has some kind of progress, and not like to the worst point and all that. And all that. But it's a good question though. Let's see. What days? Monday, Wednesday, how can. Let's see. If you smoke tree before work, was bypass me? Hey Autumn, welcome back. How are you doing? And I'm glad we've got him on the chat. I'm thankful it's been going pretty well in here. I'm thankful for that. Oh, you just turned 16? That's awesome. I never heard of. Oh, Stoned, let me tell you, Overcomer is so good. To kind of give a little insider toward Overcomer. So for anyone here that's not believed in the Lord, but also you've not heard of it, it's so good, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you're gonna cry at parts of it because of all good that's happened. So at first it talks about this basketball coach who finds out about his teammates and all that, and then later on, the principal for this high school that he works for, she tells him that, hey, so you're gonna have to become a track coach instead of a basketball coach because we need somebody to cover track. So he becomes a track coach, and little do we know, he finds out that he only has one player on his team. And y'all, let me say something real quick. In the Bible, there are parts in the Bible where the number one will pop up in things. Like an example, we only have one God as an example. Right there. You don't need, but also in general, you don't need 100 people to be, like, you don't need 100 players or 20. One player is enough. Because in the Bible, you don't have to have so many. Don't feel like you have to keep adding when you are trying to think the crazies. Only one matters, which is true. Because, and even, cause like I said, in the Bible, there's only one God and one earth. So it's very similar to what it plays. But this girl has asthma, and apparently a little bit too is she at first heard that her dad died, but y'all, little do we know, apparently, all I'm gonna say here is let's just say she found out something crazy that was mistold. Let's just say it that way. But it's crazy, I'm not gonna lie. Though. But it's really good other than that. And all that. And even she comes to know God, and the school principal helps her and introduces her to the Lord and all that. And oh, it's incredible, y'all. Like, I was 13 when I first heard of this because me and a friend went and saw it in theaters sometime that year, and y'all, y'all, I can officially say that at the age of 13 was when I first cried at a movie, ever. Like, I've never happy cried over a movie, ever, until I was 13. And that's just how touching it was. Like, it was that good. So I would recommend it for anyone. Which there's a DVD of it, and then you can also watch it on Netflix. But it's really good. But yeah, I totally recommend it. And there's so many good movies by a good bit of everyone from there, but so good. And all that is adventures. That's cool. Let's see here. Per week, I bet you like the money. Let me ask you this. Can you tell me what you are learning in a job? I am just wondering. To answer your question, Dennis, well, I mean, right now, what I'm learning in my job is basically kind of what you would learn, like, especially for a store environment, is like, right now, for me, especially, more of me is learning, okay, the best, like, right now, I've been learning how to, I mean, of course, look at sizes of, like, clothing items like you would, but also if some don't either say the size or if the tag is one of those tags that just fades over time, you just the one thing you learn about it is just make a prediction and see how it goes. Just do your best to guess. And then also understanding how to put that size in the correct order. So let's say if you're looking at like a size that's like in the number range, do your best guess. And if it's like, for example, if you don't know what um say a size 15, is in your head, do the best guess in the math to the closest you can. So, in my guess, I would say it's more like a medium large. Because in my head, y'all, if I guessed it and if I visualized it in my head, I would not be saying small. To me, that would be like close to like a large or an extra, or even close to it being an extra large, as an example. And then another instant is like a size 22 to 24 would be a 2 to 3XL, as an example. Or, for example, another size, like let's say in baby clothes, for example, is one thing I've learned too is to tell, okay, this is what this is. And it's kind of what you would if you were working in retail and doing a lot of the clothing side with retail and a bunch of the things. And then also I do other things too, like linen. So I also learn how certain things get displayed and how they're supposed to be laid out. So that way when the customer comes in, they can see it in front of them and they're not having to turn it a whole bunch just to see the full effect. And then also learning, like with linens, something I've learned at that side is, let's say something's a set, so like shower curtains or a um like let's say shower curtains for example are the same color, and what you do is put them together because you never know, that could be a set, that could be the full set of it, you know. And then also that goes for the same thing for um beds, for comforter sets, making sure that the size comforter set goes with the group it's supposed to go in, or if you can't see the tag to it, do the best you can to predict. Because I mean, y'all, none of us won't always right away won't have the best prediction, but if if we think our closest guess, that's what matters. So let's say you're trying to identify maybe a full size to maybe a twin, and you're trying to think, is it too small to where it might be a twin, or is it small where it could be a full? Then just go with your gut and then just put it there, and then later on we'll find out and see. And sometimes a lot of it's kind of like detective mode a little bit. It's like, okay, let's do the best that we can. Which, it's not too, and the thing is, in environments like that, you don't have to have it too perfect, but good enough where we predict the best to our ability and go, okay, in my head, if I had to guess what um size bed set this could be, I think it could be a queen, or it could be a king, it could be a full, or and even some of the stuff also is identifying what's what. So like sometimes there's like baby stuff that will get in the middle of it, like baby blankets to toys that come in there sometimes, or even top sheets that go to cribs. You do the best to know and go, okay, I think this is a kid's sized kind of study thing. So you put it with the kid stuff. And, it's kind of like identifying what might go to what, kind of with anything. And also, something I also do occasionally too is hanging up belts. So that goes from like women's belts to men's belts, making sure that they're nice and looking good. And I think I did this when I was on my first week, I think, first or second week. But I also hung up a lot of the men's ties, so that was one thing I did, which was really cool. And so I kind of got to learn how to hang them up on the hanger and all that. It was pretty cool. I mean, I do all kinds of stuff, y'all. So, but retail, y'all, retail can do a lot too. And especially if you're not, especially if you're new into the industry or you're just learning everything around the job itself, just, you do the best to your ability. And then at the end of the day, just see how well it goes with the customer. Because you never know if that customer gets, you never know if the customer's going to buy that exact item and go, okay, let me buy it for my kids or put it on or for their bed and see if it fits or not. Because not, not everything we have is going to be directly tagged right away and all that. But we also, it's like I said, it's called doing our best, in which all of us, even if we've worked there before, even they all know how it goes too with anything and all that too. Um, but yeah, that's a lot I do though. And also some things I do too is making sure with racks is one thing I do too. So that just means I make sure that clothes are in the right size groups and making sure that nothing's on the floor or above the shelves that isn't supposed to be on top of the shelves. So, for instance, like another round of clothes or anything that's not told, hey, this stuff's fine to stay up there, but these can't stay there. You know, it's just making sure that whatever is not allowed there goes in its place. Kind of a deal. And all that. I do all kinds of stuff and all that. So, yeah. And yeah, and for reference, I get paid about $10 an hour, which is not terrible. And I mean, at the end, like my paycheck so far has been in the hundreds, which is insane to think about. Which is pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah. And so, are you yes. Dennis, to answer your question. Yes, I've been doing Texas workforce. Um, actually, like late 19 going on 20. And I'm thankful I did because ever since I was 16, I was doing it on my own. And it took a while just to have something work. And I'm glad I got help because if I did it, then I wouldn't have had this opportunity happen to me. And I'm so glad that I have been doing this because it's helped a lot and it's felt a lot less stressful than it did back then. Hell, y'all should have seen me at 16 to that point, which was chaotic and all that. What is your mind like? Can you articulate it? Um, how long have you been, um, I mean, I've been doing Texas workforce for maybe a good year. At this point, I'm getting to kind of the good point where I should be almost about, I think, finished with them. I think. But, um, yeah, because it's pretty awesome. But I'll just say this. I'm thankful that Texas workforce is a thing, because if it wasn't, then y'all imagine what right now would be looking like. It would be looking like a train wreck. No offense, it would be. More than it was a long time ago. And so, um, that's awesome there. Autumn, I did see you say that to me earlier. Can you get back to me? Oh, hey, we're never caught in the chat. Hey there, Joe. Welcome back. Oh, God. Oh, God. I'm not gonna look at the comment there. Let's see. I sent you some things in the chat. You haven't seen if I am just not sure if you did. That is why I just want to make you aware. Oh, you're totally good there, Dennis. Did they not let you get a job? Not through Texas workforce because of your disability? If so, I'm very sad for you and all. I hope you understand. No, it's not that. No, I will say this. The best part with Texas workforce is, let's say, for example, if for a good, like, for example, I can use me as an example. Ever since I was 16, I applied to places like anyone would at 16 and just see what worked, just to see what happens. And it was probably by the time I was 18, went into my first interview at this grocery store at first. And then, of course, it's like, for me, I feel like the interview went well, but then management side is a whole different perspective. So then another year goes by. I was 19 at this time. Then at first, a neighbor of mine told me that her husband knew, um, so I guess that one of my neighbors was telling me that that she recommended me, not like saying, hey, you should, or anything, but a neighbor of mine told me that her husband was friends with, um, the manager in the area, in my area, for Cinemark, and they would put in a good word on me, like any kind person would. So I fill application like any of us do, and then I think for me it was either the next day or something was when I got word saying that I went in for that process. So, and then I think it was either a day after or a week or so went in. Feel like again it went well. I was a little nervous at first, but that's normal for anybody. But feel like it mostly went well. But then next day, it feels like a day after that was when I got the news saying that once again to my face, it gets told the same words. And y'all, I about lost it, and I was hoping at that point something would happen to me. I'm like, Lord, why me? When, I mean, and y'all, at that point, I'm like, you know what? Screw this. At this point, I'm gonna get help because I can't do it no more. Like, at that point, that was my limit. At that point. And I'm just gonna say this now. I'm thankful I did get help, because if I didn't at this point, y'all, I would be getting probably more irritated at myself than I did in that moment. And, oh, y'all, look where that landed me now. So far in a really good job where everyone's really nice there, and um, I've gotten paid about, this was, let me think, this was my second paycheck as of, I think last week. I think as of like almost like a week and a half ago which was awesome. And just, oh. And as of right now, I'm currently glad that those days are out of the window, because I pray to not try to have to go through that again. Just, after all that, I cannot do what I just did there, though. But, and I mean, y'all, let me say this here. It takes a certain point to know when you need help and when to get it. Especially for someone like me, it's like, and for someone like me, I'm someone who, at first, I'm not someone who jumps to conclusions right away. I just kind of let it do its thing and see if something comes out of it, and if it doesn't, then I'll go to the next step, and if we run out of options, then next option to mainly do is go into the conclusion of what we were gonna do. And so, um, yeah. So it's just, you know, kind of looking to see what's doing it and all that. Hey, let me see who else just came in here. Brahma, welcome back. How are you doing? I think I did notice you coming here, but I was talking at that time. But how are you doing? Anyway, what I mean by that was if better going through Texas. Yeah, if better going through Texas workforce because I just don't understand that. Does that? Yeah, I can see it makes sense. I don't understand why I can't get a job. Why would you? Why would they do that to me? You do not need that. To be honest with me, does that make sense? Raymond, welcome in. How are you doing as well? I see you're in here. Hopefully you're doing well. Can I ask you a question? Yes, Diz, you can ask me what you need to ask. Okay, you're never getting caught up. Diz, yes, but don't ask anything weird. No. That's good, Raymond, that you're doing well. And, yeah, Dennis, you can ask me anything. Just don't, like, my mods will tell you, and myself will say it too, but just don't flip it, which I don't think you're trying to flip or anything. But, and Dennis, to answer some of the stuff I read of your comments, no, it's not like, no, for me, it wasn't the case of, oh, I couldn't get a job. That would be more if my disability got to the point of, like, I can barely understand anything, or or the way I learned got more severe, kind of a thing. But with Texas Workforce, they actually help you get a job and get matched to a place will be that will work around with you and also help accommodate you so you don't go in blind with, let's say, oh, I'm gonna go into this place. You don't go in blind and just know what to expect. You actually get help and learn from everyone there, and they will actually be patient with you. Like where I work right now, the majority of my coworkers are they're really much pretty patient with me, which is good because even I was hoping, where I ended up hoping that where I worked, I hoped to have coworkers that were helpful and nice and made me feel welcomed, especially for someone who's new into the job world and and finally having something happen to me after 4 years And, you know, and I was thankful that on my first day a month ago, I walked in and um, everyone was very warm, welcoming to me and made me feel welcomed and safe and felt good knowing that this is definitely where I freaking belong, but also where um this is where I'm currently meaning to be, and that I can pretty much trust anybody there and all that, because it takes a lot to trust anyone, whether it's a coworker or not. You know, it just takes that little bit to really sense and go, oh, I feel like I can feel trusted in what's right, you know. But yeah, if you yeah, that's him. Yeah, that's being green. Yeah, don't spam for those of you in here because you're not gonna just get kicked out by a mod in here, but a YouTube administrator will kick you out like personally themselves. So not any of us in here are gonna do it to you. Just as a FY and all that. But oh my gosh, we have been doing so well about chaos not going crazy until at the moment. So, y'all, this is why I'm thankful my mods. I put them in charge of getting everyone out of here than me, because I'd rather not be playing victim. I swear, I'd rather not be the victim in the situation. Because y'all, who freaking wants to be in that situation? Not me. Because my job on here should only have to be is answering y'all's questions and statements and having fun, you know? Because for someone like me who's, especially y'all, because I mean, who wants to deal with drama like that? Not me. And y'all, I mean, I'm a Libra too, so even for me, I keep peace in here at a good low and not it skyrocketing. Because, that's what us Libras do and all that. And so, um, yeah, if anyone ever knew my sign, there you go. There's another little fact there too for those of you that are new here. Um, yeah, I just posted. Hey there. How do I say it? Let me butcher it. Katrina. Sorry, it took me a second. Welcome. I can see that you're new here. That's a pretty cool name, actually. Welcome. Hopefully you're doing well. I can tell that you're new here. And all that. And so, yeah. And, yeah, we're just hanging out though, y'all. And to give everyone else on here updates with, AJ and all that, he's doing pretty good. He's, off work today, and he's been off work today, which has been awesome. And all that. So, it's awesome. I worked today, so we were literally the opposite. So he was off today and I worked today, which was freaking exhausting. I'm not gonna lie, one bit. But I mean, it was tiring and exhausting, y'all. And y'all should have seen me. I'm not gonna lie. I was once again on foot for all 4 hours, and just yeah, it was crazy. And so, yeah, it's pretty wild. What's the we're just hanging out there to answer your question. Human. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so um anyway, that's just what's going on there. But yeah. What is the let me think. Um what's the craziest thought you've ever had? Oh, that's a good question, Stoned. Honestly, I don't know to answer that and all that and all that. Oh my gosh. Kate, I don't know why your name is familiar. Oh, I've heard some. You know what? Anyway, um, hey there. I can see that you're new. Crazy. I thought my friend was an alien for years. What? Oh, interesting. And honestly, and like I said, that's a pretty good question. I'm not gonna lie and all that, but you're definitely on a good track. I'll tell you that with questions, and that's what I do ask with questions. Is y'all can ask anything, especially keep it good too, but don't flip it like some people do in here. You know, aliens are real. They've been watching us since the beginning of time. Bro, what? Oh gosh. Um, but um, yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's crazy because Kate's name. I don't know why Kate's name is making me think of maybe my neighbor. I don't know. It could be. Oh God, it could be. But I don't know. That's all about the mountain right now. But anyway, that's just what's happening though. But and so yeah. But we're just hanging out though, y'all. And honestly, I'd rather be thinking about something else than all the chaos that's yeah went on. But yeah, just to give you guys kind of an update with AJ, he's doing well though, but he's been off work today, which was awesome. Even like, yeah, for that wonder, even with him, work with him in general's been going well still. Um, he was off work today when it's so funny. It was like literally the opposite for both of us. He was off work today and I was working today. But and then tomorrow will flip again because I'm off tomorrow and he works tomorrow. Which tomorrow he does from 2:30 to 11. And then we both work Wednesday from 9 to 1 and then I need to see what Wednesday looks like. Hang on, actually. Hang on. Give me just a second. Yeah, sorry. Okay. I think it says 2:30 to 11 as well. But I think it's also I think it says let me stand up. Then me turning. That'd be better. Okay, yeah, my mind's right. Yeah, and so, yeah, so Wednesday, of course, I do 9 to 1, and then he does 2:30 to 11 Wednesday. Um, and so, um, yeah, it's pretty crazy. And so, um, yeah. And, okay, that's why that's up. Here are you. Oh, thank you so much there. I very appreciate it. Okay, I've never heard people do it. That's crazy. I've never heard people actually say it that way. That's odd on that statement there. Hey there, Matt. I see you're new here. But we've been around since the beginning of time. Not everyone's been around since then. Like, I've only been around since 2005. So, way after all that. But a lot of us do learn about back then, though. Like, nowadays. Those bonkers and all that. And so, um, yeah. Um, but yeah. And so, yo, let's go 13 likes in the chat. But yeah. Hey there, Ty Silk. I see you're new here. Welcome. Time is measured differently. Exactly. Different parts of the universe. This, what the okay, what the freak has been up with you literally saying spam constantly? I don't think you're getting the point when you keep spamming the chat, or really anyone starts spamming the chat, that you'll automatically get blocked by YouTube itself. I don't think some people are getting it. And that's why my mods know what they're doing too. Because even they can tell you it themselves too. But, you know, I just do mean that with respect. But yeah, so. And even that goes for anyone that's incoming as well. But, um, yeah. So, yeah. But yeah, so. Mm, yeah. Anyway. You, what the frick of a question is that? That should not even be a question that's asked. And my mods will get you because I don't even want to know. Crap. Anyway, moving forward, y'all. You know what? I'm doing this. You know, I'm playing victim. We're doing it. See? It's not going to be frequent when I pitch in. Just know that, everybody. It might be once or twice I'll come in and do it myself. But we slowly live on over. So that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy, honestly. I mean, that would be kind of cool, but imagine what that would be like. Hmm. Okay, wait. Why is that making me think Nine Thoughts there? Wow. Imagine what that'd be like. I'm just now thinking, I'm like, hey, why am I getting Nine Thoughts here? What's that? You know? So, Nine Thoughts here. Imagine what that's like. Ah. No, I'm taken to answer your question, Hugh. And so, um, yeah, but, um, yeah. Well, yeah, true. But also, definitely think about it this way. We were basically technically dust in the ground before God, before God created us in human form as well, and all that too. So, and all that, um, and all that, and so, yeah. What? That's ridiculous. Anyway, but yeah, yeah, we're just hanging out and all that. But yeah. So, um, yeah. But we're just hanging out, y'all. So just feel free to ask whatever. Just be appropriate about it. Is all I'm gonna ask about it. Here, theory. Dang, what? Men, which I've got a partner, in which he and I have been dating for 2.5, almost 3 years now. Like, we'll be 3 years as of September 18th, which is insane to think about. I'm not gonna lie. Like, y'all, I can't believe that, though. Like, basically, thinking about this, we're only 2 months down the road until then. Like, how the heck? How the heck is it almost 2 months? So funny, now I'm saying that. Oh my god. 2 more months until it's like officially 3 years. Ah, that's crazy, y'all. Ah, it's crazy. Wow. Y'all, look at that. Where the heck is time gone at this point? Like, it feels like yesterday we were just high schoolers, aka 17-year-olds, and me who was almost 18 at that time. Like, we just started dating. And now, what's crazy is we're both now 20. He turned 20 like a month ago. Technically a couple weeks back. And I'm almost 21 in 3 months. Like, how? How the heck? And yes, if anyone's, yeah, and for some of you that are new here and didn't think I was that old, yeah, now you know. But, I mean, hey, I'd rather some people be looking at me thinking I'm a slight younger for my age than me saying I'm older. Like, twice old as I am. I'd rather it be that than it be worse. You know? Which, I mean, hey, that's thoughts there with anyone. But yeah. Yeah. It's pretty crazy. I can't believe it. Oh my gosh. All that. But, I, Dennis, I swear you need to quit spamming the chat. Even Brahma's having to delete you, in which really he should be blocking you fully and all that. Cause, thank you. Cause literally, y'all, this is why I said this, like, let me just say this. I'm impressed we did really well in the beginning of the live, but then, of course, late into it, it will start to get insane. But, you know, that's people not making best decisions, especially for some of us adults, you know? But a shout out to everyone who's done their job and not turned into a couple of people in here. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Cause that's made my job in here a lot helpful and not making me lose my mind, but also a shout for my mods for pitching in because even they know how I deal with some of y'all in here. And they haven't really have always have seen me gotten to the point where I've had to almost lose it completely, but I'm thankful because I'll just say this. Y'all do not want to see me when I'm on y'all would not want to see me. Like y'all would not want to see me when it's like my last nerve. Like I feel like the last time in general I've had that happen to me was a little while back ago, not too long ago, about an about some old friend drama from like years ago reappearing back up. And even my boyfriend was in it too now because one of my friends I was friends with, long story short, after a 10-year friendship, she decided to be showing actual true colors at 24 years old and just, you know, was doing the dumbest thing ever. And y'all, for reference, she at that time was 24. And all that. And think about this, y'all. She and me are only like 4 years in age. Like, I'm 20 and she's 24. She's almost 25, actually, in like a few more days. But still, it's just ridiculous when people do that to you and all that. Um, but I'm glad she's out of my life because and that's the thing too, is I'm not going to be friends with a person who would do that to me because the thing is, if somebody were a true friend, they would still be with you. They would still act the same as if you first met them. And it's hard. It's also hard to trust people these days, too, with how crazy our environment is today and all that. So it's very, very common for it to not be trustable with about anybody. And yes, to answer your question there, John, I do. But yeah. Um, exactly. Yeah, you would know if you trusted somebody because it takes a lot to trust a person. Like, y'all, I can trust my boyfriend pretty well because I've known him since my so- my sophomore year of high school, and he's been a good friend at that time and all that. So with him, I can actually trust to know what he's doing, but also I can trust him with me personally. Like if something were to happen to me, I can pretty much trust him a good 99% on um what to almost be doing. Cause y'all, that's one thing too is with your partner. That's also one thing is you've gotta see how well and all that you can trust them with any or even certain situations. Like for example, like to think about it. Like for me, it's like thinking about in my head. Okay, can I trust him? If like an example in my head, it's like could I trust him if I were to have a seizure in public or something, or around him? Would I trust him to know what he's doing? Probably yes, because I've seen how well in general he is to me. And I mean, hey, that's one thing he will do. Because let's say we end up getting married in the future. What I'll know I'll have him do is I'll have him and my parents talk about what he needs to do if he were to see me ever having a seizure and what to do. And if I ever had to ever use my rescue medication ever, and he has to ever use it on me ever, if the seizure goes within the range, or if it gets to the point where it's going to have to be used, then the one thing that um he can do is my parents will help him know how to use it so that way if he has to encounter that ever, which I pray he doesn't have to in the future, then he knows, okay, this is what to do. And the main thing really for a seizure, you guys, is to not break out. It's not go, oh shoot, she sees me, what to do. No, no. Because y'all, if you're freaking out in a seizure situation, y'all, that's gonna escalate that worse. Honestly. Like for anyone that would make it worse. So instead of going, oh, what to do, what to do, what to do, what to do, no. What you first freaking need to be doing is A, check the scene you're located in. Or am I in an environment and if so, be sure you are looking around, making sure the area I'm in is safe and making sure that things aren't nearby. Number two, of course, do the obvious. Be sure that I'm in the recovery position, but also time me if needed. And if I'm having a seizure 5 minutes or longer, use my nasal spray that I have on hand, aka my rescue med that I have, and administer up here. I'm so glad that they have nasal sprays too now and not. I mean, they do have diet sets where it's down here, which at first we had that, but finally, when I think I was a junior, I found out that they had nasal sprays, and we finally got that. And y'all, let me tell you, that makes me feel good because if I were having a seizure in public, oh, that would be the one last thing I would not want to have anybody do is pull half of me down in public where people could be looking and going crazy. And, even though I can't say I'm doing it, I don't want that humiliation, that trauma going to me and going, oh crap, you know. And, it just makes me feel, but yeah, I mean, it just makes me feel a lot safer with the nasal spray because all you just have to do is go up here and not pull any part of my clothing partially off or not. And that because who wants to even do that? No one. Especially if it's another adult that you don't even know, you know, and that'd be awkward, you know, and so, and all the things. But, excuse you? Neil, to answer your question, thank you. I'm like, I don't even know a cat. Because, I mean, I'm allergic to cats, but, you know, like, check this. Y'all, right here, got a tail. So I'm a female for those of you in here. But yeah. Who else do I see? Joey, I see you're new here. Um, Hugh, how often do you? To answer your question, I will say this. I'm very blessed to say that it's not often. I mean, I'll tell you, when I was a lot younger, it used to be actively. Like, it used to be frequent when I was a kid, but that was more because of brain development and me growing a bunch and all that. But nowadays, I forgot how old exactly I was when it started getting to a point where it started being a lot more stable, where it's maybe once in a while kind of a deal. Like, at this point, it almost feels like they're canceled out, but not really. But that's just because of the medication I take for my seizures, even though they cause me to have freaking side effects like crazy and all that. But also, I also went under an insane brain surgery just to save my life too, to have a chance at living. Cause yeah, yeah, it's crazy. And some of you that are returning have heard me tell y'all, but for some of you that are new here, I was diagnosed with epilepsy when I was born. And so what that is that's a seizure disability where all of the um, nervous system in the brain and the electrical system in the brain malfunctions and causes me to have seizures. And it's not the best thing in the world. And it's not, well, no one doesn't want to have to see and all that. But, um, you know, but, y'all, it's crazy. And so on September 4th, actually, I'm not thinking about this. I need to look and see. Wait, I think this is the 18th, 19th, 20th year. I need to look and remember and see how long ago it was. But, um, on September 4th, 2007, I went under an intense brain surgery where they removed I mean most, of the right side of my brain, so the right upper campus of my brain, to A, control my seizures, and B, have a chance at being pain free, but also C, to have a chance at living a normal life, at least a normal, manageable life, to where I wouldn't have to be in much pain as terribly as you think. And doctors did say that there would be chances of me walking, talking, speaking, getting a job, um, getting married in the future, living on my own, or anything, or even achieving milestones ages, at different age points, like, like of course at 16, of course, hopefully, be licensed. I've not been there yet, but it takes a while to get licensed. Or, for example, at 18, graduating high school, or now, living as an adult. and learning all that. That was one thing, y'all. And it was a lot of like really thinking all of it. But y'all, I proved, when I say I proved doctors wrong big time. Because look at me now. I say that. Look at me now. 20 years later. I'm walking. I'm talking. I'm standing. I'm doing a lot of the things now that doctors said that wouldn't be likely possible. Even though, yes, these days I get really bad side effects from the meds, but, you know, I mean, hey, if right now the things I can do right now about it is take Motrin for one part of it and then the other part just rest right now until I can find methods to manage it, hey, that can work for now until something happens, you know? And I wish I hadn't had to be in that side of the pain, but, you know, you just gotta do what you gotta do. So, it takes a while just to, you know, but, yeah, it's crazy. Let's see who's came in here. But yeah. Will you... Okay, why are we getting so much crazy comments going on? Oh, the 90s. I, I don't even know about that because I don't live in the 90s. But anyway, who else said the top? Okay. Chuck, be careful what you're saying, please. Email. Okay. Um, Falls, to answer your, okay, Jagger, now I see your name. Jagger, to answer your question, no, if not luckily. I'll say that. Praise God. Emily, thank you so much for your comment. He's good. In which he loves everybody. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anyone else's comment. Okay. Sorry, I was trying to make sure I was caught up to most of the chat, which I was. Danny, I see you here. I remember you. I changed my name and profile though. Okay. I'm still subbed. It's is your Steve, what again? What the heck of a question is that? I swear some people, I don't know what's up with y'all's questions. Some of you, but not everybody, but that's why I bring up my statement a bunch and all that. Who is Rogo? I'm gonna call you that because it's just easier to say. I can tell that you're new here. Can we... Yeah. Yeah, and also that's one thing for everyone else that's new here too is I do have a lazy eye. So if anyone ever wonders why I look like I could be looking one direction when I'm looking straight at the camera, for this eye, it's because I've got a lazy eye. And that's one thing too, is even after the brain surgery too, when I was recovering at one point, it when the brain was healing and all that, and the brain was getting back to its original order, it kind of did it to where it made this eye look this way and not straight ahead. And I mean, the thing is, the thing is, you can get an eye patch, but you can also get prism glasses, which help with preview vision. But with those, honestly, y'all, it just depends on how far damaged you're along in. It just depends on how far you're in. Like for me, I really say I'm a lot far more damaged because at this point, the options I could do about it is um do eye surgery and only get about 30% of it fixed, because in my case, apparently, y'all, if they even try to fix it to a full 100, I would, on top of that, end up having double vision along looking cross-eyed, a lot worse. And ugh, y'all imagine that. That would be a nightmare. And so, and the thing is, the 30% would still be good because it would be a little bit better than it is now. But, yeah. Hey there, Ursula, welcome back. How are you doing? And we're getting a lot of my mods here, which is awesome. Which is incredible. But yeah, hopefully you're doing well. It's been a minute. But yeah. Oh, that's cool. And all that. What is mine? Got ignored. And so, um, let me see. I'm trying to make sure I don't say anything before, you know. And just so everyone is clear, I do read my comments head to toe. So don't ever think there would be a comment where I will skip it. Unless if it's a way more extreme hate comment, maybe, then that's different. But the majority of them, I'm head to toe, like up here down. Even, because kind of what it looks like is I'll talk for a good bit and then look through the chat and then continue. So it's like repeating it. So, yeah. So, let me see here. Ringo, what the freak of a question is that? I swear, some people are so crazy with their questions tonight. Even though we've done so well in the beginning with it being stable. With it. Danny, I remember watching you, like, in the early 2025. Oh, that's cool. Sorry, Danny, it's just I get so many new subscribers, so it's always hard to keep track with every single returning. So sometimes I can recognize some of y'all right away, but then it takes me a minute to really remember it, you know. And I mean, I don't blame myself. It's good to get a good community of y'all. But you know, we all have lives that we are in, so it's always hard to make it. So I don't blame anybody for that. Yeah. WTW. I'll go in here. I think. let's see. Um, Reviewer, I think you're new here. Welcome. Sorry, I take my words back. It's okay. Um, and to answer your question, Ursula, my day was busy. It was busy but good. Because I worked this morning and then I was exhausted. And so I came home, relaxed, and then crashed for like an hour. But yeah, that's work life for y'all. you know? But I mean, a lot of us can relate to that though, because y'all, for good of us adults in here, but also some of us that are teens and are starting that process, we all know how that goes. And all that, and it gets pretty crazy. And so, um, but yeah, it's wild. And so, yeah. And it's okay. But yeah. I saw someone else come here. Peter, I see you're new here. Welcome. Hopefully, you're doing well. TJ, I see you're new here. Welcome. I work at there. Oh, that's cool. Sunny, I see you're new here. The US, to answer your question. There's Sunny. Thanks. TJ. I'm doing alright. I'm not gonna lie. Today's been busy, but that's just what adult life is like. Because of work and then like just working and working and just feeling exhausted afterward, even if I've slept great the night before, which a lot of us know how that goes. But that's why usually with me, kind of what my post work schedule for me is is I come home, put my things down, get everything situated, um, text some of my friends and my boyfriend to catch him up and let them know how work went, and then relax just to kind of get situated, and then I take a nap for like an hour at the latest, so that way I can be refueled and recharged for the rest of the day. So I don't feel like I'm a walking zombie all day, because, you know, all of us know how that can be, and we all know how that feels. Like, I mean, some of y'all should have seen me when I go in the door and all that. Like, you know? And, yeah. And even for someone like me, where I've literally have been standing on, like, I've literally been on foot for all of my shift today. And, y'all, I will say this. Today was probably the first shift that I literally was so busy, like, I was so caught up working a lot today that I didn't even freaking even get a water break in between. Because usually there's times I'm back and forth, but I was actually in one spot a lot today. And so I didn't even, I mean, I would have if I paused at one point, but I was just so busy and just what I was doing and just didn't realize it. And so finally, when it was like 10 minutes before um I usually leave, because usually what I do is about 12:50 my time. I That's usually when we call it a day. So that's just when I go back and get all my things collected and I clock out for my shift. And so I'm like, you know what, let me get a water break real quick while I can remember to. But oh, yeah. It was crazy, y'all. And I don't know how I did that, y'all, but that was insane. Like, it was absolutely crazy. And that's the first time I feel like at work I've done that. Where literally I've been so busy that I didn't even realize it. Because usually, whenever I'm back and forth, usually from the store building to our warehouse unit where a lot of donations will go in, and that's usually where I put my things, is on one of the shelves in there, and my water bottle usually. Um, but yeah, it's pretty crazy, y'all. So, um, I'm. Let me see here if I missed anyone's comment. Let's see if I missed anyone's comment. Here. Oh gosh, I've got so many questions unanswered. Okay, here we go. This is where I left off. I saw that question. TJ, to answer your question, um, well, my hobbies are of course content. And then occasionally, oh gosh, what are things I do hobby based besides content on here, which I've done 6 years of. Oh, what else do I do here? Um, Occasionally, sometimes I would take pictures using my Canon T100, but it's been a while since I've done that. But it's pretty cool though. Um, which is a camera I've got. And then sometimes it just kind of varies, y'all. Um, excuse me, grief. Um, yes, I'm from the U.S. there. Sunny, to answer your question. What do you do? To answer your question, Danny, my job, I work for, a thrift store in my area, um, and all that. Um, so you're a miracle. So you're a miracle yourself and feel positive all the time. Things will get better. Thanks. I will say this. People can, look at that with me, but with anyone and say that, when reality is, we go through stuff too, but, you know, it's, I mean, I can just say it's impressive I did that. Like, that's the first for me, honestly. But, you know, it's just so funny because, I mean, y'all, like, I was so caught up in what I was doing, I didn't even realize. And even I told my boyfriend this too, and even one of my friends this too, because even I tell him too, even with work stuff as well. Like, it was crazy. And so, um, but yeah, it was crazy. I'm always a 6 p.m. shift person, not early person. Dang, that's crazy. Okay, so you're kind of similar to my boyfriend, but sometimes with him, like his varies though. Like like where he works right now, he works evening to night shift, but he also sometimes works um but he sometimes also gets scheduled from like late, like early to late afternoon hours going into night shift. So for example, um tomorrow my boyfriend works from 2:30 to 11. Thankfully today he was off when I was working. And for example, for me, I literally work from the moment the store opens, which is 9 a.m. for me, up till 1 in the afternoon. So, right a little bit after the start of the afternoon. So, literally, I'm working morning to early afternoon shift, which is insane. But it's not terrible, I will say that. And let me say this, I'm glad that I don't work super late, because if I did, oh boy, imagine how that would be. And I'm thankful the latest where I work, it would go as like 5:30 to 4. Thankfully, not past that. I'm so thankful for that, because I did not need to be working that late and all that. I'd rather not work that late, you know. But yeah, I mean, who wants to work that late? Not me. I love your hair. Very old fashioned memory of the hairstyles I used to see in the 1960s. Thanks, Roy. My hair's just in a ponytail. Yeah, some of y'all can't really tell unless if I'm looking left to right, but my hair's just my hair goes to my neck, and I can still tie it up. But I'll show you. Like it's up in a ponytail right now, actually. I know some of y'all you can see right here, but some people can think it's like directly short, like all the way short, like this, but it's not. It's just tied back, but it's also because the ponytail's not shorter, so you can't even tell that well, unless if I'm looking left to right, or I'm showing it toward the camera. So, and all that, but um, yeah, and so. I just found out and they had games on Netflix. Oh, that's cool. For real. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Ben, it's a cool name. I see you're new here. Like and subscribe, brother, watching from the UK. Awesome, thank you. But yeah, like for me, because for me right now, I work literally from 9 to 1. So, literally for me, as an example, to kind of give you guys a perspective, for me, it's like right as right as the workday fully starts till um like the beginning of like an hour after the afternoon starts. So for me, it's like 4 hours altogether, which is crazy. Because, y'all, 4 hours for me already feels like eternity at this point. Like, it feels like the slowest time ever. Even though usually in my head, it's like you think about it, and usually hours like that will snap. But, oh, now, y'all, working 4 hours already feels like I'm working my boyfriend's hours, which he works anywhere between 4 to 7.5 hours, just depending on the work day and all that. Like for him, like each day he works, it's different, so it's not always gonna be the same time frame for him. A lot. Like there's gonna be some days where he works either 3:30 to 11, 2:30 to 11, um, 4 to 11, um, 7 to 11, or anything like around then, and just any, or 3 to 11, 2 to 11, you name it. But it's not always the same time period of the day for him. It might be that one day he works 2:30 to 11, next day he works 4 to 11, next day he works 3:30 to 11, or one day it can be he's working 7 to 11, and it just it's different for every day. So it's not always, you don't always really have a accurate estimate, but there might be some days where maybe maybe 2 or 3 days maybe he's working the same time, but then a couple days he's working different, which is cool. But um yeah. Anywho, who else do I see? Hmm. But yeah, what do you think about Bluetooth? Bluetooth's cool. Um, which of course means you're gonna need Bluetooth regardless for things to work. But yeah. So um, yeah. Excuse me. Good God. Um, but anyway, that's just what's going on there. But yeah, that's just what's going on at the moment. Um, are you feeling dizziness? Um, let me see. What are you answering? Rabbi, to answer your question, no, I'm not, thankfully. And I will say I am prone to dizzy episodes a bunch because of my um, side effects of my medication. But a lot of it's mainly because of the surgery I had a long time ago um, to prevent my seizures from being as active. But, um, and all I can do for those is if it's a headache, I can take a Motrin and all that. But if it's a dizzy episode, all I can do about that is just lay down and just let it do its course, kind of a thing. But, and, and I mean, I could probably say I've technically have had 2 or 3 episodes at work already within different weeks of each other. But, um, yeah. And so, um, yeah, and all that. Yeah, and I'll tell you, I'm thankful that for me, I don't have to be up for anything in the morning, thankfully. So I'm thankful that I'm able to actually sleep at the night. And then I won't be able to sleep in again till Wednesday night. Because tomorrow night I won't be able to sleep in because of work the next day, which would be great. And so, um, yeah. And so, yeah. Jay-Z, I can tell you're new here, so welcome. And actually, I do have a job, to answer your question. I've had a job for about a month now, actually. And I actually worked today, fun fact. So, you actually say that statement, I actually do. So I actually can prove you the opposite of that. I will say that for anybody coming in here. But, yeah. Just felt like coming in here. But yeah. So, yeah, and I mean, and I'll tell you, I've gotten paid so far twice, which is pretty cool. So I've gotten to actually get the experience of what it's like to get a paycheck, and it feels like the best thing ever. I feel like I'm crazy, but it just feels awesome making my own money and all that, and getting a sense of what it's like being in the job field and understanding things of it and all that, and you know, like for example, I know that the next time I get paid is I think it's hey, I'm looking because I have it written down. Here, I'm just trying to tell. Is next Wednesday, the 5th is next Wednesday the 15th, which is awesome. And so far the amount I've made is pretty good and all that. And all that, like total. I've made a lot, which is pretty good. And so, um, yeah. Um, and fun fact, me and my boyfriend Lily got jobs. Like, we found out about our jobs, like, very close. And, like, within, like, the same amount of time as each other, but just pretty cool. And I never suspected we would both be finding out about our jobs so close from each other. Like, I was the first one to find out about mine on May 1st, and then he found out his May 3rd, so 3 days after me. Well, actually, he found out that day that he was going in for the orientation process the 6th, and then his first day of the job was the 8th. And then for me, for me, May 1st was kind of like my orientation day for me without even realizing it. And I just couldn't believe it and all that. And so, yeah. And then for me, it was waiting to see when I started, so it took a whole month. Which, I mean, hey, I was not really in a big hurry for it to start. I was letting it do its course because it takes a little bit for things to get submitted and just get it to where it's in the clear. But also, I had to get other paperwork in that process figured out as well. And, of course, that takes a little bit of time too. But, yeah. And so, yeah. And so then, and I remember, y'all, the, it was like, it was like Friday. It was like, it was literally the Friday, like a couple of days before I found out that I, found out about my start date, which was June 1st, aka the start of last month, which was awesome. And all that. And even I was excited to find out. Even I was excited when I found out when I was starting. And I just was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's happening. And since then, it's been pretty well. And, all that. Um, and even I still remember when AJ started, it was like pretty crazy that we found out within the same time period as each other. Like, I don't know what it was, y'all, that was, but y'all, that was literally like, I, y'all, I don't know if that was literally a crazy romantic coincidence that just happened or what. I mean, things like that in romance does happen. But it was like the craziest thing ever. I did not think that we both would experience it together within a couple of days of each other. But yeah, and even now what's kind of cool is there's some days that we we both work on on the same day, or one of us works one day and the other's off, or we're both off on 1 or 2 days. Like, for example, we both work Wednesday, and he was off today, and I work today, and then I'm off tomorrow, and then literally it reverses. So, literally, tomorrow it will literally reverse. And, so instead of it going, I work today, he was off today, I'm off tomorrow, and then he's working tomorrow from 2:30 to 11. Um, what have you been spending nothing yet. What I've been doing so far is actually putting, a lot of it towards, savings, because like, the total amount so far I've been getting is, like, in the hundreds, and sometimes it's always hard to really, I mean, sometimes, you never know what you really could be doing with it. It's always good to be putting at least some of it in savings too, because you never know if you're trying to, either do that for a car, or if you're trying to do that so if something urgent ever happened, you've got um some money in savings to use if needed and all that. But yeah. And so um it's pretty crazy. But yeah, that's really what right now I do with it, until either using until either I go to maybe use either some of it, or and it's always good to have um at least a good amount in your savings too, for urgent causes that might have to happen. But and um yeah, so um but yeah, I'm just relaxing, so yeah. Anywho, that's just what's going on there. But yeah. So yeah, let's go 23 likes in the chat. Anyway, we're just relaxing currently. But man, y'all, I've been in here for an hour. That's crazy. But yeah. So um yeah, it's pretty crazy. So give me a second. But yeah, it's pretty wild. anyway, we're just hanging out at the moment. But um yeah. Anyway, y'all, I'm probably gonna get off pretty soon and all that because I mean I've been on here for an hour and I do need to um charge my phone pretty soon too. But I will next be on here on Wednesday next. So I will see you guys sometime Wednesday. But see you